What's going on, everyone? Good morning and welcome to Afternoon Tea with a Hollywood Editing Mentor. Afternoon Tea in the morning. So happy that you are here. Welcome. I can see already people posting in the chat box. I love it. So happy that you are here. My name is Joaquin Elizondo. I am the creator of the Hollywood Editing Mentor program and podcast. And speaking of the podcast, new episode out today, episode 39, with Yvette Ameri and ACE. And we're exploring factors that influence our career decisions. Really, really good episode. Definitely go check it out. And of course, there's also a video version here on YouTube. But yeah, we dive deep into like this topic, right? Of things like say our parents, right? Or maybe us being ourselves parents, or money, how that influences what career path we take. And also we give some practical advice on how you can then define better your goals and then pick the right path for you. So anyway, check it out. Episode 39 of the Hollywood Editing Mentor podcast out right now. You can go listen to it or watch it or both after this session. But again, happy that you are here. Where is everyone watching from? Type it in the chat box. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's see where people are watching from. All right. I gotta, I updated my computer. I got an M1 Mini. And, it's like when you try to migrate things over from an old computer, it's just like, oh my God, it's just a mess. But anyways, I'm trying to put it all together again here. Let's see. Network, wow, I don't know where this is at, but I should be able to see this. Anyways, where's everyone watching from? I'm gonna, here we go. There we are. I know how to work this, I swear. All right, let's check it out. Greetings from LA. I'm going to move this over here. Everything's just like, all over the place. Anyways, hey, J3 Silva, greetings from LA. Awesome. Kyle, I hope you're staying dark. It's been crazy, right? The rain, the cold. What's up with the cold, man? We're not used to this in California, but it's good, though. It's good we're getting the rain. J3 says he's dry and warm. Mark from LA. Love it. Delina says, hi, everyone. Let's see. I'm going to go up here. Where else? New Orleans. Oh, nice. I love NOLA, man. Oh, man, that's like one of my favorite cities. I can't wait to go back. Oh, man. Tumbaram, video editor from Los Angeles. Awesome. Marco, what up? Getting ready for opening day. Any baseball fans in here? Opening day is tomorrow. Go Pods. Let's do this. This is our year. Kyle from LA. New York. How is it in New York? Oh, man, I miss it there too. I used to live in New York, Astoria, Queens. Speaking of New York, I do want to go out there this year. My goal is to go out there this year and do a Hollywood Editing Mentor meetup in New York City. I will let you know if that happens, when it happens. And I will need help organizing that, finding a cool place to hang out. I can't wait for that. Delina in LA. What's up, Delina? Good to see you. LA area here, D-State boy, work from home in LA. I'm curious to know. I always get asked this. Like, people are still working from home. Obviously, we are. But I wonder, like, how many people are actually going to the office? 29 Palms. Oh yeah, I know that. I know 29 Palms. I had a lot of friends who worked out there. Good old Hollywood. Jackie, what's up? Kyle is a Cubs fan. Oh man, I love Chicago, and I've always rooted for Chicago teams. Obviously, huge Bulls fan back in the day, and Bears, and even the Cubs, man. Trust me, I just love Chicago. It's sunny out in New York. Whew, Here it's not that sunny. It wants to come out, but not really. All right. Well, hey, hey, look, again, my name is Joaquin Elizondo. For those that are new here, welcome, first of all. And you know, I do this every once in a while, you know, kind of make myself available to do some, you know, live coaching, to answer any questions you may have, you know, provide advice, but also for you to connect with other members of this awesome community, you know, so you can build your network, or just simply make new friends, right? Meet like-minded people, talk about shared interests, and maybe, you know, you guys connect, and then, you know, meet outside of this, and maybe go on a hike, go to a baseball game, go to a movie, whatever. But this is just fun that we can actually do this and hang out with the community, right? So again, yeah, I try to do this every once in a while, maybe once a month right now. But you know, again, I want to answer your questions. I'm gonna get to a big announcement that I do want to share that I'm very excited about, something that I'm launching this summer. I'll get to that in a bit. And, you know, also just kind of talk about certain things, right? I mean, like, look, right now, it's a weird time out there, right? With this industry and technology. Obviously, you're all talking about AI. That's the big thing right now. And, you know, I got to admit that it's you know, it's important to, well, first I'll say this. It's important to talk about it and discuss it and kind of understand where things are going. I mean, no one really knows. No one obviously can predict the future, but I think it's kind of like, my opinion is like, it kind of writing's on the wall, right? And so it's time to learn new technologies, get used to them, know how to use them, right? Because this world is changing. This industry is changing. But anyways, you know, again, this is a safe space to have these discussions, right? If we're feeling a little bit, if we're kind of, you know, worried or stressed out, or, you know, this is the place to kind of come share our thoughts, feelings, and support each other. That's the thing, right? So also, that's what I want to do here, is, right, provide that support for all of you. But again, get your questions ready, and the way it works is simply put it in the chat box, and we'll get to them in a bit, see what everyone is up to. Yeah, I was asking if people are still remote, and yeah, still remote here. Technically hybrid, but I haven't been in the office in months. Yeah, I love the hybrid version. I love that. I did that last year on my last show. I was doing a limited series for Netflix, and we started off work from home completely for the first 6 months, and then we did hybrid. And I love the hybrid because I love being at home, but I also really enjoy when I'm collaborating, you know, on cuts and working with directors and producers. I really like to, you know, be in the office. Like, it's just better. So, but you know, again, we were only there like maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week, and then at home. So it was awesome. Really enjoyed it. Jeremy hasn't been in an office since March 2020. Wow. Yeah. No. I mean, look, I could have easily not been in the office. It almost felt like I wasn't, because it wouldn't go in that much. So yeah, I mean, I started remote since October 2020. Delina lived in Astoria. Oh, really? Yeah, I lived there for 5 years, and I loved it. It was awesome. Great, obviously, Greek food, and so many cool places to just food in general. A lot of good food there, and I visited a couple years ago, and it's changed so much now since I was there. But I love Astoria. Joe says my last show was hybrid using Jump. This one is just work from home. Oh man, yeah, I use Jump. Now I've used a couple different systems. My favorite was the one we did again on my last show, where we had actual local media, and it would just sync up. We would get the media uploaded here to our systems from like the lab, and then as we would do any changes, whatever, anything we did, that would sync up across all the assistants and other editors. But it was great because it was I was working with local media. Yeah, so I want to know. So what is? I mean, I know you guys are working. I see from home, and you're doing somewhere hybrid, this and that. But what do you? This is my first question. I mean, what does everyone do? What do you work in? And say, is it you working in scripted TV and in commercials, documentaries, promos, corporate videos, whatever? And also then the second part to that is like, do you want to work in something else, right? You want to say now transition to film, right? Or if you're working in documentaries, now you want to work in commercials. Is that the case? Let us know. Type it in the chat box. Like I said, we'll get to your questions or any, post them now. I'll answer any questions right now at the moment. But I do want to, and again, I'm going to share with you just a special announcement here in a bit. But I wanted to, well, first of all, here, I wanted to talk about J3, documentaries and unscripted. All right, cool. That's awesome. What's this whole thing with AI? I got to admit, like I was not I was kind of maybe refusing to dive into it and look at it, and having a lot of discussions recently about it. I decided to jump in, see what the fuzz is all about. And it's fascinating, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I wonder what's going to happen like in the next couple of years, right? I saw someone shared to me this AI that edits, and then I saw like the Adobe Premiere has that text to edit thing feature now. I think it's the beta phase, maybe, at least the video that I saw. That is crazy. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of changes happening, and I think it's just better to acknowledge that and then just kind of start learning the tools, right? Looking ahead, because a lot of changes gonna happen. Yeah, go Padres! Opening day tomorrow. Oh, I'm so excited just for baseball in general. Oh, it's the best time of the year. Jeremy's doing unscripted these days. Awesome. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I know things are kind of slow, but that's the thing. It's like that's how this industry works. It's just part of it. I think it's kind of better to understand that, right? That this is normal. It's normal. This goes in waves. This is what happened after obviously during the pandemic, and then suddenly, boom, like it's just like all this work, right? And that's what most likely will happen now, right? I mean, everyone's talking about, like, say, the summer, things are coming back, but this is normal. You gotta hang in there, write it out, and also that's why it's so important to plan for this stuff, right? And I mean by saving and it's so important, especially if you're a freelancer. But it's gonna be okay. It's gonna come back, right? But it's just this is the industry. That's just what it is. And again, it's just it's a good time to right now maybe reach out to people, connect with friends and family, go travel, get outside, right? It's like I look at the positive side of it, right? If you are, say, affected by this, where you're not working as much, I mean, use it to learn something new, to go visit a place you haven't visited before, right? I mean, go talk to people you haven't seen in a while. Always look at the bright side and know that the things will come back to normal, and it's part of the industry. Brandon, what's up, dude? Yeah, but that's the thing though. You're here. You're in LA. That was the goal. That's a big move, man. To go, say, move to a new city. You're following your dreams and you have a goal, and you did that. That's the hardest part, making that move. And you did it. You're here. And look, again, use this time to connect with people. Why? Because a lot of people have time, simply have time, right? Because, a lot of people are not working. And so right now, it's just what happened during the pandemic. I said the same thing. It's like, all right, yeah, I know it sucks. Yeah, it's, wow, weird times. But a lot of people are available, reach out to people. People have time to chat with you, and they want to, because people are just like, I'm not doing anything, so yeah, it'd be great to chat. So it's actually a great time right now to network and learn new things, and to also understand that, this shall pass. Honestly, it's just part of the industry. That's how it works. So, and learn from it, right? Learn from it. So understanding that, it's like, yeah, that, again, I talk a lot about money, as if you watch my YouTube videos, you should subscribe to the Hollywood Editing Mentor YouTube channel. I think it's like hopefully I can get it. Yeah, right there. Click that little red button. And talk about a lot about money. It's important. Talk about finances, and so this, again, should make us understand that we should have some savings, right? Because things can get a little rough. But again, it's normal. So I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear how everyone's feeling. Again, because this is a safe space to talk about this stuff. How's everyone feeling during these crazy, crazy ass times? J3, let's see, you got a question here. Awesome. I just got into the roster for the guild. I have been editing for a while, and I don't want to go to the AE route. Any advice on how to get editor work on guild jobs? Yeah, look, again, it's about simply networking and putting yourself out there, right? And, it starts there. First of all, you got to let people know your intentions, what your goals are, and really be out there, putting it out there. And this is something I talk about in this last episode 39 of the podcast, that it really is about that. It's telling people what you want to do and increasing your network, right? And this is by simple cold outreach, like reaching out to people. Maybe, for example, what kind of stuff do you want to work on, right? I mean, is it, reality, unscripted, or scripted, right? Or films, and what kind of, like, what genre do you want to work in, right? So, use something like IMDb, for example, right? Or simple Google search, and get out there and start contacting people, telling people what you want to do, right? If you do want to, avoid the AE route. And my question would be like, why is it that, I guess, you would want to avoid the AE route? I'm just curious to know. But yeah, look at with work in general, whether you're an assistant, an editor, or whatever, like it's networking and putting yourself out there, right? That's how this works. So I definitely encourage you to do that. And again, right now is the time to do it. Kyle says, I felt the same, Brandon. First year is the hardest, Brandon, but second year gets much better. Look, when I moved to LA, so I was in New York, and I was editing out there unscripted and was turning down work. It was great. I get to LA, my first year was the absolute hardest. Even with me, having been editing for, 15 years at that time, and, having good credits. I got to LA, and it was like no one would hire me for like the first year was like just hard in LA. And I think the majority of people will say the same thing in general. Just getting to LA that first year is hard. So understand, yeah, it's normal. It's normal. It is hard, and it just gets better, honestly. But that's the important thing is to acknowledge that you made that move. You are in LA. You made the move. Awesome. Congrats. And sure, it's a little tough, but a lot of us have been through that, experienced that better. But you can't let that just say if you got to LA and you're like, oh, it's tough and I'm not getting work. Like, you got to keep grinding it out. That's the thing, right? You got to keep hustling. You got to keep reaching out to people. It just doesn't stop. Don't let it get you down, right? But I understand, yeah, it's normal. That's the thing. It's normal. It's normal. I was not working that first year. I hardly worked at all. Even having a bunch of experience and credits, but it's just, again, that's when it hit me. It's like, all right, it's that networking, right? Because and especially in LA, It's just an industry town. It's built on relationships, and I can't stress enough the importance of networking. Tambaram, I think AI will take over shorts, social media videos, and more abstract style, but I don't see it creating emotional video from hours of interviews, for example. Yeah, no, I don't think, honestly, like, say, everyone's gonna lose their jobs, for example, and like robots are just gonna take over. The one thing for example, just a theory, right, or what I think, it's like, yeah, maybe like I could see something like maybe like a robot doing like, or AI doing like a first pass on a project, right? Kind of like a very rough assembly, and then you bring in an editor and clean it up and let them do their thing, right? But again, who knows? Who knows? I obviously I think a lot of in workflows I could see AI doing a lot, and I'm part of a lot of groups, networking groups, and recently having these conversations with some people involved in tech, and I think the conversations a lot right now is in like the workflow area of like between like say production and post. A lot of things happening there. Jeremy, what's up, Jeremy? Here I have a question here from Jeremy. Does your agency ever set you up for interviews or strictly your own network? Very good question. I think if, I love this question. And this is, again, if someone's considering hiring an agent, listen to this. The overall consensus, and this is, from my experience with an agent and also talking to friends and colleagues that have an agent, I think for the most part, even when you have an agent, you gotta be out there still networking, and you're gonna find a lot of work through your own network. Now, do agents put you up for meetings? Have I been put up for meetings? Absolutely, yes. And so, yeah, they do help you out for sure. They do get you meetings, but the more and more people I talk to that have an agent, the more and more I hear like, yeah, this job, I got it from my own network, right? I got it myself. Here's the thing though, if you do get your own, even if you find your own job, you still got to pay the agent 10%. That's the thing. And the thing is though, but even if you find a job, they're still doing all the negotiating for you, right? And I think that alone, honestly, is worth the 10% personally. But again, we're talking about agents here. It's important that if you do hire an agent, that you're kind of on them. Like really, first of all, communicate like your goals, like and what kind of stuff you want to work on, and say like, hey, this, have it really like clear in your mind and say like, these are the type of shows that I want to work on. These are like the directors that I want to collaborate with, and really put yourself forward out there, so that the agent really, doesn't really forget about you, right? It's depending also what agency you're with. Some agencies have a lot of clients, some don't. Some are more boutique, and they're just really small. But again, come back to like this whole idea of putting yourself out there. It's like also with an agent, it's like you really have to let them know what you want to do, get them excited for you, and it starts with us like really communicating, say, our goals, what kind of stuff we want to work on, and who do we want to collaborate with. But great question. Oh, what's up, everyone? Juliet is here. What up, Juliet? Oh, man, I love these sound effects. Welcome. Good to see you. See, I'm getting a lot of questions here. Awesome. Lanika Richardson, what's going on? Welcome. Lanika says, I'm a freelance editor that lives in Orlando, Florida. I have an uncle in Tampa, close by, that has been editing for almost four plus years. I'm interested in pursuing assistant editor opportunities. I wanted to know if you or anyone else has a network in the area. Well, you're here. Yeah, this is your network. This is your network. This is what the community is here for. You got to definitely reach out to people. It's good that you're here, asking a question, putting yourself out there, right? So people know who you are, or where you're at, what you want to do. It starts from there, right? So what I encourage you is, definitely to use this as a resource, right? This community, to connect with people, maybe also people in your area, right? And I try to post jobs here on the private Facebook group, and other people post jobs. So, and that's how it works, honestly, word of mouth. But you really want to get into those networks, because like by the time it gets to, like, for example, a job gets to, say, Facebook, let's just say, right? And I do love Facebook for finding work, and I found really great work through Facebook. But before it gets to, say, make a post on Facebook, to be in those networks, right? To say, catch that job posting before it gets there. Because once it gets to, like, Facebook, honestly, that person, whoever posted it or whoever was hiring, is getting 100 resumes, right? So you definitely want to be in those networks, again, meeting people. So you get access to, say, those jobs first, or say people think of you, right? It's like, oh, Anika, all right, yeah, she was working, looking for work, this and that. And so boom, hey, you available? Right. That's the thing, right? You want to get people thinking of you. And that's the thing also why it's so important to stay in touch with people, stay on people's radar, because it's like, so that, because something will come up, right? Or someone will reach out to me and say, hey, do you know anyone that, was looking for work? I'm like, and then, like, the first person that comes to mind is, like, probably someone that I recently talked to. So obviously don't be, emailing, texting someone every day, right? Or every week. But I mean, definitely stay, on the radar. It's even, cause it's even, like, think about it. It's like, even about, like, say, that's why I encourage, like, Facebook. I really push Facebook, because, and to, like, participate, say, in post-production groups, and by participating, I mean, like, comment, post things, because people will remember you, honestly. So just being very active in these social media groups really helps, especially Facebook. Marco Rodriguez, go Padres. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm very excited about baseball. It starts tomorrow for the Padres, and well, I'm not gonna jinx it. That's not gonna say. I'm just excited. Padre fans will understand. But anyways, Marco says here, been editing news for years, ready to move to scripted and start as an assistant editor. Advice on first steps. Plan on joining your program and master the workflow. Well, I'm glad you bring this up. This is a good segue into what I was going to announce, and I'm going to do that right now. But let me first kind of get to your question, and then, because this is what I'm going to announce is about this. But the first step, honestly, the first step is really defining and setting your goal, to say, like, I've determined now that this is what I want to do, right? This is what I want to do. And also maybe what kind of stuff that you want to work on. And I'm saying, like, I know obviously you said scripted, but, like, what kind of shows, what shows do you like, or what stuff would you want to work on, right? What directors do you want to collaborate with, right? And then having an understanding of what that path looks like, having an understanding of what things you might encounter, right? Identifying that, what's ahead, because it's going to require for you to develop a plan for yourself, a strategy. And this also involves, say, like money, for example, right? Like saving, because you're going to have to, for example, in order to get, say, scripted credits, you might have to, very likely, actually, have to go get that experience, right? Before you get to, say, working on a high budget, say, scripted TV show, you probably might have to go find some maybe indie feature, right? That doesn't pay much, right? So getting clarity on what that path to scripted looks like, because there's a lot of things, a lot of obstacles and distractions that will come up, and then developing a plan for yourself, right? It starts there. Now, here's the thing. Well, how do I know what this path looks like, what to expect, and how do I develop a strategy? Well, this is where my Break Into Scripted course comes in, right? And I want to share that with you today. That's why I'm announcing that Break Into Scripted is coming back this summer, 2023. Yeah. Thank you. And so definitely want to share with that some details about it here. I'm not going to go completely into it, but I just want to let you know that it is coming back, Break Into Scripted. And look, this is the ultimate guide, the playbook to starting a career in film and scripted TV shows. And so I did this last year. I did it twice as a live group coaching program. And there's, I think, some people here that were in that course, in either of those courses. And they both sold out. Both of those instances of that class, of that course, sold out last year. I opened up a wait list. So you can join that today and be notified, be the first to know when this comes out in summer 2023. But the exciting thing is that I'm creating now an all new, all updated, totally redesigned online digital course that you can do at your own pace. Because, last time we obviously did it in a group, live group setting. And, a lot of people could not make the class, right? It was on Saturdays. And the first time was like Wednesday and Saturday. So a lot of people couldn't make it. So I want to create something now where you can just do it at your own pace. Anytime you want to just jump in. And look, this is, there's nothing, I'm just telling you right now, there's nothing like this out there. There just isn't, right? Because this not only shows you, say how to get a job in scripted, but it helps you to develop and set those goals, right? It helps you develop a plan, a strategy for making your way into scripted. And I show you all the things that you could potentially encounter, all the distractions, and how to overcome any challenges. And then we also dive deep into cold outreach messages, how to do that, how to reach out to people and get people to reply and get you meetings. Diving into also writing, understanding how to sell yourself with your resume. So that's a big one. And then we dive into networking, like really mastering how to network. So if you are someone that is quiet and has a hard time reaching out to people and are shy, this will help you out in overcoming that and allow you to really get out there and start meeting people. And then if that's not, if that's not enough, then I'm also showing you through that course the fundamentals of being a film and scripted TV assistant editor. So also talking about the technology, the fundamentals, the basics to not get fired the first week. I mean, it's jam-packed. There's no course like this out there, right? And so this is going to give it to you all, right? This is the ultimate playbook. You will develop a plan for yourself. I'm going to help you along the way. And you'll also have access to a community of like-minded people, right? That'll support you along the way, along your journey. And, will also help you grow your network, right? And this is cool because what I'm going to be doing with this course now that it's an online digital version is that I'm going to be updating it constantly. Right? Adding new things to it, right? And answering more questions and just improving it as we go along. But once you're in, right? And so that's what's happening this summer 2023. I'm already in the process of recording all the modules. It's underway. It's happening. And you can go right now to HollywoodEditingMentor.com /waitlist. And maybe let's just go there right now. Why don't we just head over there right now? There it is. So you can sign up for the waitlist. If you go there now, I just share a little bit of information about what the course is about, and you can get on the wait list there. Just sign up. You'll be the first to know, right? And I'm only opening this up for this summer, 2 people on this wait list, to this community. I'm not opening it up to the general public. yet. And so you have to be on this wait list to get a chance to enroll. And it's going to be really interactive, because I've been there. I've been through this process of trying to break into scripted, of transitioning, say, from working in, unscripted for like 15 years and not knowing how to do it. I went out there, made a lot of mistakes, and now I created this so you don't have to make those mistakes. I'm showing you how it's done, and it's going to help you really define goals for yourself, right? And help you overcome, say, any sense of maybe, if you're nervous about networking, or, if you don't know what to put on your resume, how to sell yourself with your resume, because it's so important to understand that this is not like any other industry. We have to think outside the box. So what we were taught, maybe say about resumes in the past, it doesn't really necessarily apply to this. There's a way to do it. And so I've been through this process. I've done it. And so I'm going to show you how it's done. And this is really the only course out there that does this. And that also combines the soft skills and, say like, networking, communicating, and writing resumes, cold outreach messages, combines that with also the tech, understanding the basic assistant editor skills to not get fired the first week. And I say that because it's so important to understand that you do not have to be, say, an avid expert to do this. You got to know the basics, the fundamentals, right? And, and it's honestly, a lot of stuff. It's about organizing, to be honest. It doesn't really get that complicated. And a lot of stuff you're just going to learn on the job. But don't let that hold you back from, say, going after your dreams, right? Or going after, accomplishing your goals of working in film and scripted, because it's not that complicated, honestly. And so I'm going to show you that as well. I'm getting excited just talking about it because it's something I wish I had, back when I was trying to not only break into scripted a couple years ago, but also like back when I was in college. I wish I just had this. It would have saved me 15 years of trying to, figure things out, of, me dealing with, doubting myself, doubting my abilities, me being scared to take risks, right? It would have saved me, honestly, 15 years. And I don't want you to waste any time going out there to the internet and trying to figure this out. And how would I do this? And who should I reach out to? What should I include in my resume? What should I include in my cold outreach messages? What do I need to know about Avid? It's going to be all right here in this course. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And, I have some testimonials here from people that have taken it. Juliet is here. But yeah, I've loved seeing how this has helped out so many people, right? And I want to do that for you as well, because I know the feeling. I know what it feels like to be out there, feeling lost and, trying to figure things out and feeling like you're alone, like no one understands you. Again, because there's a community aspect to this that's going to be included in the course, right? To support you, to hold you accountable, and for you to ask questions, right? Even though it's going to be self-paced, but I'm going to, create this community specifically for this course, where we're there, answering questions, posting jobs. It's going to be tailored just for that, for people that want to work in film and scripted TV. And like I said, look, I talked about it earlier, right? We talked about, say, things are slow right now. So let's just address the elephant in the room. Yeah, things are slow, but it's actually the right time to right now work on this, take this course, work on, writing cold outreach messages, reaching out to people, because again, people are available. Learn everything you need to learn about the tech, because things will open up again. What happened last year? After the pandemic, there was a huge boom. Last year, you could not find assistant editors. You could not, because everyone was working. There was just it was just like this incredible boom, explosion of work. It came back, and that is what's going to happen again. So get ready now. Get ready now, because that's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. And so reach out to people now, work on your resume, work on how to sell yourself, and learn all the, tech skills, because it's going to come to a point where, look, I got so many text messages. Hey, do you know anyone? Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, everyone's working. And so it was just crazy last year. And it's going to happen again. But anyways, again, Breaking the Script is coming back summer 2023. Sign up for the waitlist today. I'm only opening up to the waitlist for this round, for this kind of first time around with the digital online version of this course. But I do want to take questions. If you have any questions about this, I'll take questions for sure. I mean, again, I don't want to make this about, just this course. I wanted to announce it today, let you know it's happening, get you ready. But I do want to, again, answer any questions if you do have any about the course. Or any other questions. We can move on. No worries. Juliet, Juliet says, take the course. It helped me break into scripted. It works. Thank you, Juliet. And congratulations to you, because I know how hard you worked, how much you wanted it, and you did it. And you put in that work. And it's so awesome. And I'm glad that we just simply got to work together and known each other now for a while. And so it's great. It's again, this is it. This is also part of it is being also part of this community to support each other, right? And learn. Adam, sign up for the waitlist. Very excited. All right, Adam. Awesome, man. Thank you. I can't. As I'm doing it, as I'm recording it and planning it and writing it out, I get so excited, man, because I was like, wow, man, this is stuff that no one's talking about and no one's doing, and something that I wish I had. This is it. Charlie, what's up? Carlos Viramontes. Oh, dude, thank you. No, man, thanks. Carlos Viramontes, Charlie, let me just talk about him real quick. He's on the podcast. Go listen to the podcast interview I did with Charlie. So Charlie was someone that I met about now. What is it, man? Like 3-4 years ago now? Oh my God. And again, the episode I did with him was about networking and how to do it correctly. And Charlie did it right. Charlie was someone that reached out to me and said to me, like, through a mutual friend, was in San Diego. He's like, hey man, my dream is to work in scripted and that's what I want to do. You work on Narcos Mexico, and it's one of my favorite shows, and it honestly, the time he sent that email, eventually we met in person, and from that time we met an email, 2 years later, he broke into scripted, right? And he did it right. He knew how to network, right? But hey, it was a process, right? But he did it right. And went from, say, working in sports promos in San Diego to then working on Narcos Mexico, and then we just worked together on this last series, this Netflix limited series. So he's in it, right? And obviously helped him along the way, guided him, but he did put in that work and just did it correctly, right? And so that's Charlie. Everyone meet Charlie. But I'm so glad you're here, dude. Thank you for being here. And yeah, man, you killed it, man. You killed it. You're killing it, and you're gonna keep doing great. Betsy, I may have missed this, but how much is the course? I will have all that information soon enough in the coming weeks. What I will say, though, is that I will provide, offer special pricing and bonuses for people that are on the wait list. Again, I'm doing this just right now for the wait list. I'm not rolling it out to the general public yet. I'm starting here and really want to focus on this community. But if you're on the wait list, you'll find out all these details in a couple of weeks. And again, I will offer special pricing to those people on the wait list. Oh, there you go, Betsy. I've signed up for the wait list. This sounds perfect. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you'll be hearing a lot more about it soon. Again, I'm in the process of recording it. I've done already a couple of the modules. I'm almost done, I gotta say. I wish there was a course like this when I started out in LA. Absolutely. That's the thing. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I wish I had this 20 years ago when I came out of college, when I graduated. I studied film and TV at the University of Michigan, and I went back to San Diego and I started working in local news, right? And because I just didn't know how to make my way to working in films. I know people were doing it, right? Because I saw the credits clearly, but I just where do I start? Especially back in those days, right? Because we didn't have, say, maybe the internet. No, we had it, but I'm not that old. There just wasn't a lot of resources, information out there. But if I had this course, man, again, it would have saved me literally 15 years of trying to figure it out, and also and doubting myself, doubting my abilities. It would have saved me so many headaches, frustration. Oh my God! And this is what it'll do. It'll save you time, and frustrations, headaches. It's all gonna be here. And again, I'm gonna keep updating it, adding more videos, more content, specifically tailored for breaking into scripted. And again, you'll be part of a community and have that support as you go on your journey, and have access, to jobs, right? Because that's how it works. We network with each other, and if, for example, I have a community where this is people that are taking this course that I know I've taken it, right, and gone through all the modules, and we're involved with like-minded people and people doing this. It's just more really defined, more specific as to providing, say, job opportunities, and knowing, for example, when they say, hey, I'm looking for someone. Oh, do you know anyone? Yeah, boom, go to this community, boom, likely find someone there, right? Oh man, I'm excited. I talk about it, I'm like, this is nothing out there like it, man. Betsy, is this mainly for people in America or anywhere? Very, very good question. I'm glad you bring this up. This is for people anywhere. These concepts that I talk about, that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to teach you, they apply to wherever you are in the world. It's not just about being in LA and Hollywood. It's anywhere you're at, whether you want to work on, union, projects, non-union indie features, whatever. The same concepts apply. So this can be used anywhere in the world. Brandon. Yeah, Brandon was a part of the course. The course is totally worth it. It gives you a fantastic network and the tools you need. Yep. And, for example, Brandon, when we first met, we started working together. He was in Chicago. And he said, I want to work in animation. I want to be an animation editor. And I know I got to be in LA, but, I'm in Chicago and this and that. We, worked together, showed him a couple things. And then one day he's like, yeah, I'm moving to LA. And he moved. He's in LA. He did it. Right. And so that, again, that was when he told me, I was like, wow, dude, yeah, that's so awesome that you're taking this so seriously, and good for you, man. You put it, because that's how it is. You just got to go for it, man. You got to go for it. You can't wait to say at some point you got to make a decision, right? And this course helps you define your goals and make that leap. Go for it, right? Because it shows you the path, what it looks like, and what you could potentially encounter, and therefore you'll be able to pivot and develop a plan for yourself, a strategy, right, to overcome any obstacles, and know which direction to take, or if you do get off your path, and then come back on it, right? It's great. And so, thank you, Brandon. It was great working with you. Derek the editor, what's up, Derek? On the wait list. Awesome. Yeah, no, again, I want to make it accessible because a lot of people couldn't make it to live sessions, and they're great, right? But not everyone can show up on a Saturday morning, right? And we had people in the course from London, right? And we had people from all over the States. The East Coast, everywhere. So again, this will just make it easier, more accessible to people that, can't make it live, or say in other parts of the world and the schedules don't match. So it's going to be great. Carlos, Charlie, they liked your podcast. Yeah, it was great. All right, so I want to get to Marco is on the wait list. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, hey, again, I'm gonna do a full, presentation and answer all your questions about this course eventually in the next couple of weeks. But I just wanted to throw it out there right now and let you know, kind of give you an idea what it's about, and just let you know that's happening and give you the opportunity to sign up for the wait list. So thank you. I want to get back to your questions because I see there's a lot here. I've been talking a little bit, and so I want to make sure I get to your questions. And look, if I don't get to your questions right now, maybe also then repost it because I'm just following this chat box. All right, here we go. Adam, I apply for a lot of editing and assistant editing jobs on sites like Staff Me Up, but haven't heard back from anyone. Do you recommend this shotgun style of applying for jobs in scripted, or should I network more? I know. I recommend you really identify who you want to reach out to versus just kind of this, shotgun approach or style they talk about of just, especially with something like Staff Me Up. And just kind of wait there to see if I get a response. What you want to do, and what I recommend, is that you're out there reaching out to people. In this case, for example, and again, this stuff that I talk about in the course, right? We really dive deep into this. But first of all, say identifying, right? What kind of shows do I like, right? Or if say specific directors or editors, anyone that you want to collaborate with, it's like, wow, I really like what they did, or really admire their career. And reach out to those people, because when you reach out to someone that you somehow connect with, and what I say connect is that even though you've never met this person, you connect with their work, right? You connect maybe say with their career path, right? Maybe you listen to them on a podcast or read an article and you're like, wow, this person from the same town that I'm from and worked in reality and made a transition to scripted. Wow, I can identify with that. When you connect with people like that, you will just be more authentic in your, say, cold outreach messages, and when you actually then talk to them, right? And this person will notice that. I mean, look, I'm telling you now, because I'm on, this side where I receive a lot of messages, and I know who's authentic and genuine and who's not, who's just kind of doing more like a copy paste, style message, right? I know who has really taken the time to say, watch the stuff I've worked on, and who's really cares and wants to hear from me. So that's an important thing, but to really reach out to those specific people, and versus just going out there and especially something like Staff Me Up. Look, I will say I've gotten certain opportunities on Staff Me Up, but just kind of general, especially with a website like that, you're like, and then sitting back and just waiting. No. I really got to define exactly what you want to do and who you want to reach out to, and then keep at it, right? And because then if you do, someone hits the reply button, and now you've made a contact, right? Who then they put you in touch with, right? And you just start growing that network, much more valuable than just submitting a resume or something on a site like Staff Me Up. Joe, Joaquin, do you have a way for editors to connect with assistant editors who have been through your course, are on the roster, and are available and interested to work? Yes. Well, first of all, there's some here. There are some here that fit that description. But yeah, look, I get hit up constantly for specifically assistant editors. And you can reach out to me. Honestly, look, you can reach out to my website. I'm also, I do have the private Hollywood Editing Mentor Facebook group, right? Where you can, you yourself, say, for example, if you're looking for an assistant, can post there. But obviously, just hit me up. You can reach me through the website. There's a contact form there. I do get those emails. But again, there's a lot here. Connect. This is for, right? It's exactly what this is for. One of the reasons why I do this, people to connect. If there are, say, assistant editors right now who are on the roster or a union and are available for work, there you go. There's a couple here. I know. But yeah, no, look, look, I'm easy to get a hold of through either the website, any social media platform. I'm like on everything. It's not hard. Let me know. I can definitely recommend people. Ken, thanks again for hosting. Oh, my pleasure. How do you balance your editing credits with your assisting editing credits when trying to break into scripted? Is it important to have two different CVs? Very, very, very good question. This is where you have to, really think about and say, again, have specific goals, have a really defined path, and what is it that you want to do, right? Because, for example, what do I mean? As your assistant, let's say you're assistant editor, right? In scripted. And you're trying to make your way, say, to being an editor. Well, let's say the first part, the first part of it is to start getting, hopefully, and it doesn't have to be this way, right? But, very likely will happen this way, is you start getting co-editing credits, right? So you meet an editor who lets you or wants to give you the opportunity to co-edit. You share a editing credit on an episode, for example. And so you start building those credits, right? If you are at that point where you're getting now maybe 1 or 2 credits, right? You at some point you have to start saying no to assistant editor credits, right? You have to start saying no. That's the power of no, and I'm going to do a video on this. But you have to start saying no to assistant editor credits if you want to be an editor, right? So again, it's tricky because obviously we all got to work, we got to make money, pay our bills, and got to eat. But there's also this side of it where you have to say no to, say, assistant editing work, and it could be tempting, especially if you're union or even non-union. But I'm saying because you make a decent living, right? And so at some point you have to start selling yourself as an editor, right? If you are going that route, and I do encourage you, if you start getting those co-editing credits, to really then start selling yourself as an editor. Because then if you keep being an assistant, people are just going to start, they're going to think of you as an assistant. It's also hard, right? It's also hard to part of why it's hard is because people see you as an assistant editor, especially early on. And when you're making that transition to editor, you got to get people away from thinking that you're an assistant. You really got to eliminate that. So it starts from really now just putting an editor resume out there. And also you say cutting shorts on the side, right? Getting more involved with narrative material, right? So you add that to your resume. You're more in that world, in that mindset. So it comes to a point where you are having to sell yourself strictly as an editor. Now, maybe I got off course. Maybe I didn't answer your question there completely, but this is more about resumes. And again, this stuff I go through the course. So important to have different versions of your resume, like different versions. I mean, you should see my computer, my folders here. Like last time I was opening them up and I was like, oh my God. I mean, just so many different versions, right? And so yes, always custom tailoring that, your resume to what you want to do, what your goals are, type of work that you want to do, and try things, right? And try things, move things around, change words up, style, everything. I mean, constantly being like, what can I improve, right? Until you see it's like, all right, I'm really seeing what works now, right? But being self-aware, right? Saying, right, you know what? I really should put this, I really should revise this, because we can't just write one resume and leave it there and just start sending it out. No, you got to revise that thing constantly, and custom tailor it to your situation. Great questions. Great questions. I'm going to go for a little bit more because this is really fun and you guys are just, this is, I love this. Let's see. So let's see. Gil Jeff. So assistant editor position is super technical and now more detached from the editor. I have been editing for over 10 years with good experience in documentaries unscripted. Any thoughts? Thanks. Well, are you talking about yeah, well in documentaries unscripted, yeah, the job is so technical. Right? I mean, it's funny because I was gonna post this actually. I was on on Reddit on the editors subreddit. If you're not part of it, I encourage you to check it out. It's very interesting. But someone was saying how they're talking about how right now there's like, say, because there's not a lot of work going around. There was an editor, a scripted editor who then went out, because what happens is like when this happens, like scripted editors now tend to go for unscripted work, right? Because they need to work. So this scripted editor was working on unscripted, and he was giving scenes for the assistant editors to do sound design on, right? Because in the scripted world, you are part of the creative process. You're doing a lot of sound design for scenes, right? So he saw it, the scripted editor saw this as a kind gesture to say, hey, I'm giving you the opportunity to do some sound design. But the assistant editor in unscripted was like, I'm so busy, man. Like all I'm doing is like syncing cameras and data wrangling. And they really, at the moment, didn't see that, right? And it's like, and thought this guy was just a jerk. And he's like, wait a minute, no, in scripted, like this is actually what you want to do, right? But anyways, just remind me of that because yes, in unscripted, you're just, I did it for a little bit in unscripted, and you're just so detached from the editor. You're just working on syncing cameras and dealing with all kinds of footage and whatnot. But if you are want to work in still in unscripted, and you want to take it closer to your editor, that's the thing. Is just you gotta find the time outside, and you're gonna be busy, right? So you gotta find the time outside of the work or whatever, however you can do it, to get close now to your editor, right? Don't just simply wait for it to happen during work hours, for example, because that probably will never happen because you're so busy. So you have to make it a point and put yourself out there, find that little time to say, hey, you know what, I'm busy, but maybe, we can go for lunch, go on a weekend or whenever, but I want to, talk to you more about, say, me being an editor, if that's what you want to do, or simply just connect more, right? Be more on the radar, stay on the radar, and make them, notice you. But it starts from you putting yourself out there and also finding that time. You got to create that time, right? Just because you say, well, I'm just busy, like that's not good enough. I mean, like, yeah, you're busy. Yeah. So you got to find the time. You got to put in that work outside of work, say, for example, to connect with people. And this applies to unscripted, scripted, anything, especially as an assistant editor. Like, for example, like when, cutting scenes. I've seen this a lot where it's like, oh, yeah, well, an editor will give an assistant editor a chance to cut scenes. And the assistant editor will be like, oh, man, I don't have the time. Like we got to find the time. You have to find the time. Do you have to stay late? Do it. I mean, if you really want to be, say, for example, an editor, maybe get closer to your editor, that's what it's going to take. There's no way around it. So, you gotta make that time. We can all make the time. We have the time. I know we're busy, but we can make the time, especially if we really want it. If you really want it, you will do it. Jackie, very good question. On average, how long does someone work as an assistant editor before they start taking the steps towards co-editing? There's no defined time. Look, for example, for me, it took 2 years. Well, sorry. Let me go back. For me, I got to co-edit my first season of a full scripted show on Narcos Mexico. I got to co-edit the first season. I got to co-edit the second season, and then I got bumped up to full-time editor on the third season. That was quick. That was fast. Some people, it takes them 5 years, right? I don't know. Some people it takes them 10 years. Some people don't get it, right? So there's no really, don't focus so much on like, say, oh, this needs to happen now, right? Because it's like, this year I should be doing this and that. No, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep, because that'll get in your head, right? You'll start, oh man, I'm not doing this right now. Right? I should have been co-editing at this point, right? Don't let that get into your head. It'll just distract you from, say, actually going after and getting a co-edit, right? So just really, again, put yourself out there. And with regards to co-editing and just getting bumped up, it's really important for assistant editors to be cutting constantly. And I don't mean by just simply helping out And I just did a video on this. It's on the YouTube channel. I just released it yesterday. Go check it out. How to get a chance to edit, right? How to get your editor to give you scenes to cut, for example. And you have to be out there, for example, cutting things. It doesn't even matter like if it's short films or not. Just show people that you are interested in editing, right? And then request feedback. Say, what do you think? Like, you're an editor. What do you think? Don't even make it about I want to cut scenes. It's like, what do you think? Give me feedback. And that, develops that trust with the editor. And then, of course, also put it out there, right? It's like, you know what? For example, anytime you need help with a scene, I'm here, right? You start building that trust, and then, you'll get scenes to cut. And then it goes from there. You just start going. Again, telling people, also communicating that you want to be an editor. That's also, I know a lot of assistant editors that do not do that. And you can't assume that just an assistant editor wants to be an editor. So you have to really put it out there into the universe, communicate it to your editors, to your friends, everyone. Say, I want to be an editor. I want to be editing, in the next 5 years, whatever it is, right? Set a goal. But it's that. It's a lot of communicating, first of all, your goals, telling people what you want to do, and really be out there cutting, editing, anything that you can, and showing people how interested you are in editing, and then requesting feedback from people, help, and you want to learn, right? And that will develop the trust and, get you your first co-editing credit. And then eventually, get you up to being a full-time editor. Joe, thank you for showing up. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I love this. It's so much fun, and you have some amazing questions. And so thank you for taking the time to be here. I love doing this. And I'm going to do one today at 7 p.m. Pacific. And I do that because, again, we have people from all over the world, right? So I want to make this accessible. Make sure you have an opportunity to come here. So I did this last time, doing it again, 2 sessions in a day. So, come through 7 p.m. Pacific if you want to, hang out again and meet more people. Good question. What are your thoughts on additional editing credits? I might get a couple on my current scripted show, but I know this isn't viewed as legitimate editing by some. This is great. No. I mean, like it counts, right? I mean, like, and again, it's how you sell yourself. That's the thing. That's a lot of things I talk about through this community and through my course is how to sell yourself. Like not just simply thinking, well, I hear like additional credits, like, they're not taking, say, maybe as seriously. No, it's about you, how you sell yourself with this experience, how you present it, and how you present your experience, how you present yourself. So no, I mean, that's great. I think they're great. You want to then obviously now work up to getting a co-editing credit, right? You do want to do that, but again, it's like really taking this and knowing what an accomplishment it is to get an additional editing credit, first of all. And then now using that, right, and really sell yourself to now get a co-editing credit. That's the next step. So you got to make that your goal now, right? Get that co-editing credit. This is great. Additional editing is great. But now you want to move, take the next step. Get a co-editing credit, right? And it really is about how you sell yourself. Delina, any technical skill classes for aspiring assistant editors to recommend in addition to master the workflow to take now when the job market is slow? Obviously anyone here could chat, or chime in. But I mean, there's so many free tutorials. There's so many. There's a new, I think fairly new YouTube channel. I think it's called the Avid, I think the channel is called like the Avid Assistant, something like that. But he does just like free Avid tutorials. Honestly, check it out. But anyone else has any recommendations, by all means, post them. Okay, I think I'm gonna start winding this down because I'm hungry. I gotta get me some breakfast, and again, I'm gonna be doing this at 7 p.m. Pacific tonight if you want to stop by, hang out, meet other people. We'll be doing this again. But I'll take a question or two more. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the Hollywood Editing Mentor YouTube channel, you can do so right here. Click in this little box here somewhere there. I hope I'm pointing it the right direction. I just released a new podcast episode today with Yvette Amirian. And I did a video yesterday about how to, get your editor to trust you and give you scenes to cut. And hopefully that leads to additional editing credit or co-editing credit, right? And eventually to you being a full-time editor. Talked about editor rates. That was a good one. That stirred things up. And I made 2 parts to that video. Check out what people are making, editors are making, and assistant editors are making in LA and New York. And, I did a follow-up video to kind of clear things up because, it's important to understand that, first of all, it was an informal survey with friends and colleagues and just get an idea of what people are making. That's how we do as freelancers. We just ask around. It's important you ask around, you ask your friends what they're making so say what to charge for a project, right? And get an idea. And, I got so many great comments about it, how it inspired them to, or motivated them to go get ask for more money. Or maybe some people were like, I'm in the wrong, area of post, man. I should work on this, right? In commercials or whatever. So anyways, so much great content there on the Hollywood Editing Mentor YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you get notified when I upload new videos. And I have so many that I'm doing right now. It's going to be great. So yeah, don't miss out. Okay. So again, one more question. If I missed it from going up here in the chat box, you can just repost it. I will get to it. But again, I'm going to start winding things down because I am going to be doing another session at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. You will be getting another link for that if you want to show up. It'd be great to hang out again. And again, don't forget to sign up for the Break Into Scripted waitlist. It's coming back. It is coming back. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to learn so much. And I'm going to, help you uncover so many things. You're going to learn so many things, not only about this industry and editing, but about yourself. You're going to discover a lot of things, great things. And meet like-minded people who are on the same journey as you. We're going to do this together. Sign up today at hollywoodeditingmentor.com/waitlist. Question, I'm in the LA area. Can you suggest any agency in the area? And in your experience, will they represent editors that do not have many credits? Thank you. Great stream. Thank you, Mark. Oh yeah, there's so many. I mean, look, what is it? There's UTA, Gersh, APA. So many. You know what? Because I get this question a lot. I should just make a list and post it on the website of all the agencies that are out there. Yeah, and to then answer the second part of your question, well, will they represent editors with few credits? Yes. I was one of those editors. I had, when I got my agent, or agents, I guess, I had 1, maybe 2 scripted credits, right? And I've known other editors that I've had just co-editing credits. So yes, absolutely. They will, agents will definitely, hire or take on editors as clients that don't have many credits. One thing I will suggest though is that if you are someone like that, just starting out and you get an agent, really be on top of them and really, again, get them excited for you. And by I mean is that really tell them what kind of stuff you want to work on, who you want to work with, and just staying in touch with them. Really, you probably might have to work a little bit more. Again, just because, look, really, what I want to say is that just because you get an agent, don't expect to just simply, all right, I got this taken care of, I'm just going to find work. I'll tell you that right now. That is not the case. You still have to be out there networking. Networking never ends. Even if you have an agent, even if you have an Oscar, networking never ends. So that's why it's just so important to get on it now, really develop that skill, master networking. Again, what I do in the Break It to Scripted course, I show you how to do it, what it's really all about, and give you strategies to just get better at it and also help you overcome shyness if you are shy. So, but bottom line is like having an agent, don't think that just that solves everything. It doesn't. You have to be out there networking, and a lot of jobs are going to come from you, and they'll still charge you that 10%. That's the thing. But I still think it's worth it for simply the negotiating. That alone is worth the 10%. Yeah, no, Lassie Pug, big one tonight. We got a good friend, Tim Good, and Emily Mendez from The Last of Us, and Stephanie Filo, which I'm trying so hard to get on the podcast. I got to give her a call. So look out for that soon. But yeah, enjoy tonight. Enjoy Lassie Pug. I'm so glad that it's back. Such a fun event. I hope to be there one day. All right. This is it. It's time to eat some breakfast. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up here to Afternoon Tea in the Morning with Hollywood Editing Mentor. Like I said, I'm going to be doing another one here at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that are not going to be at Lassie Pug, stop by tonight if you can. But again, thank you for all your questions. This was great. I love the conversations here today. And thank you for those regulars and also the first timers. Welcome. Glad you are part of this community. So definitely stay in touch with each other, connect. This is what it's all about, right? Building our networks and supporting each other out. But really thank you for just being here and your continued support of this program. Thank you, Jackie. Adam, thank you. Mark, thank you, man. Thanks for showing up. Brandon, all right. Have fun. Joe, thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias, amigo. Lanika. Hey, Joe, all right. Thanks for showing up. Jeremy. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, really appreciate it. It's so fun to have been able to do this. Again, we'll do it more often. It looks happening one tonight. If you're not going to Lassie Pug, hang out. Delina, enjoy tonight. Okay, my friends. Thank you for being here. My name is Joaquin Elizondo, the creator of the Hollywood Editing Mentor program and podcast. Hopefully see you tonight. And if not, well then I'll see you on the next one. All right. Take care.